Most of you, you look at all the traditional literature to this day, even traditional psychology still is missing this, is, oh, you need to make incremental managed change. And if you take baby steps and move along a success curve, do not go massive radical. Do not go cold turkey. Don't go giant, because that is harder. And people think about it like, well, yeah, that makes sense to us. We should manage our change, manage our process. It's a no, no, and no. Let me tell you why. And it falls in the 15 Twinkie theory. Let's say you're eating 15 Twinkies. And it doesn't matter the time period. It could be a day, a week. It doesn't matter. You eat 15 Twinkies, and you're going to follow the traditional process, traditional management of. You're going to follow the way your doctor's telling you to do this. So in the first week, the first time period, you cut out one Twinkie. And when we look at the stress, when we look at the frustration, when we manage people in success-based psychology, traditional psychology, we talk to them, we measure them, we calibrate them. Most of them are focused on the one Twinkie they're not getting. They're not focused on the 14 delicious Twinkies they're eating. And we can assign a stress level to them. And so they're stressed out. And, oh man, I'm on my diet. I cut a Twinkie out. It's hard. Now, in the second week, in the second time period, they cut 2 out. And they're eating 13 Twinkies. Do you think they're focused on the 13 Twinkies? Or, because there's now 2 out of the diet, do you think stress is doubled? Think it's tripled? Or do you think because now it's week 2 and this is getting really hard, man, it's serious, it becomes 5 times hard. And you're just dreaming about Twinkies, even though you're eating 13 of them. You're focused on the 2 you can't have. Because we're Americans. We're adults. We don't like to have things taken away from us. It's control. We don't like it. And so now we're stressed out 5 times. In week 3, it's not 5 times. It's 100-fold. We are hating this, and we don't even care about the 12 Twinkies that we're eating. Now in this third week, at the end of the third week, 2 things are going to happen. We're depressed. We're struggling. We got a party tonight. We're going to get on a scale and we're going to go, well, how well is this diet working for us? When you've cut 1 and then 2 and then 3 out and you're still eating 12 Twinkies, it's not working. It's very, very small outcome. And so now you're depressed on how hard this is, and you don't have success, which makes you doubly depressed, and now you're going to go to your party. And because fate, karma, pick your word, has an interesting way to mess with you, your friend is serving not only Twinkies, they're fried Twinkies. And there's this huge plate out on the counter. You're upset, you're depressed, you're not succeeding at this. You go face down in this platter of Twinkies, eat them all. Nobody in the rest of the party gets any. You even go back in the kitchen, you're getting them, you're eating them before they're going in the fryer. And you wake up the next morning and you go, you know what, this is too hard. I can't do this. It's too hard. You picture at the end of the cycle with no Twinkies, it's not 100 times high. It's an order of sun magnitude. I can't be this person. So you quit the diet, you don't do it, you go back to eat and you punish yourself. Probably going to eat 17 Twinkies now just to prove that you can and blah, blah, blah. You're unsuccessful. You did what your Western system told you to do. Now, if you follow the latest in neurosciences, and it says massive, radical change, week 1, 0 Twinkies, you're going to cut out all 15 of those suckers. Now, when we look at the stress, when we look at the frustration, when we look at how this person is feeling, and we compare them to them, do you think you're 15 times more stressed in the first week because you lost all 15, or do you have relatively the same level of stress? And the answer is it's relatively the same. And in week 2, you go to 5 times. It's awful. You're now 2 weeks without Twinkies. It's killing you. You're stressed out 5 times. You're struggling. Week 3, it's 100 times as hard. But now something interesting is going to happen to you because you've got your party tonight to go to. And you get on the scale to see how well you're doing. You're upset. You're depressed. You're 100x negative feeling about this. But your results, where you didn't have any results when you were managing your change process, you're going to have really good results here. So you're going to actually feel pretty darn good. That's the first thing that differs. Now, this is even more important in this psychology of change. You go to your party, they still have the fried Twinkies. And the question I'd like you to ponder is, because you're on the zero Twinkie diet and you're actually having good success, do you believe you will eat one? And most people think, yeah, probably not. Who are you fooling? Of course you're going to eat one. You go, oh, I can have one. And the first bite, because you haven't had Twinkies for 3 weeks, do you think that that's going to be a terrible bite? Or do you think that's going to be a delicious, outrageous bite? And the answer is because your body's free of sugar, it's going to taste, the first bite's going to taste delicious to you. Second bite's going to taste delicious. But by the end of the Twinkie, you're on sugar overload. But let's say you force yourself, you have a second Twinkie. Maybe even force a third Twinkie down. By the third Twinkie, these things taste terrible because your body is on sugar overdose. And you only had 3 Twinkies and you rush home and you weigh yourself to find out the damage. And there's no damage by having 3 Twinkies that night, is there? And now you learn something that all thin people know, is that you can have 1 Twinkie and it's delicious. 2 Twinkies, you don't need it, you're done, you're fine. And you can get to the end of this program. There is light at the end of the tunnel for you. So I want you to really, really ponder when you think about, oh, I'm going to go to the gym this way. Oh, I'm going to change my diet this way. I'm just going to cut a little of this. No, 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 no. In the system Dean Ornish built, in the system the Inevitable You builds, it is massive, it is radical, it is designed exactly the way you want it, and now we're going to add more tools to it.